UFC 270 Ngannou versus Gane main card prediction. We got Ciryl Gane, the interim heavyweight champ with 10 wins and 0 losses. I believe 5-0 or 6-0 inside of the UFC, right? Oh, it's actually going to be 7-0 in the UFC. Submission win, decision win, knockout win, 2 more decisions, and then another knockout win. Most notably beating Junior Dos Santos, Jairzinho Rosenstrike, Alexander Volkov, and most recently Derrick Lewis. He will fight the greatest puncher the heavyweight division has ever seen in Francis Ngannou, the most powerful guy on the planet as of right now. We got Deiveson, Figueiredo, and Brandon Moreno in the co-main event. It is the trilogy after a draw, a win for Moreno. If Deiveson Figueiredo wins this fight, will they do a quadrilogy? Because it was a draw, then maybe a 1-1 on the wins right there. What if we see a quadrilogy? I have no idea what's going to happen, but that is the co-main event. We got grappler and striker in the heavyweight division with Aleksei, Oleinik, and Greg Hardy. And the one I am honestly very looking forward to this fight. Maybe even a little bit more looking forward to Movsar, Evloev, Ilia, Topuria than I am any other fight on the card except for Moreno, Figueiredo, and Gane versus Ngannou. But those fights right there, the undefeated prospects fighting, the striker versus grappler in the heavyweight division, Gane and Ngannou, Figueiredo, Moreno 3, it is going to be an absolutely stacked and an absolutely amazing card. Even just those 4 fights on the main card make it absolutely amazing. Not to mention the prelims, which we will get into probably tomorrow or the next day. But right now, we're going to go on right here to the UFC featherweight division. Movsar, Evloev, and Ilia Topuria in the featherweight division. Ilia Topuria reigning from Georgia, along with guys like Guram Kutateladze. We got Merab Dvalishvili, Ilia Topuria, Giga Chikadze, so many amazing prospects coming from Georgia. And another one that just turned 25 years old about 1 day ago is, of course, going to be Ilia Topuria. As of right now in the featherweight division, I don't even think he's ranked. He probably should be ranked over Alex Caceres, if I'm being quite honest. But as of right now, he's sitting at that number 16 spot, right outside of the top 15, whereas his opponent, Movsar Evloev, is at number 13. They're both undefeated, which is crazy. 11-0 and 15-0 for a 25-year-old and almost a 28 years old. So it's going to be crazy. 2 crazy good prospects. The same height right there. A little bit different in the region. Very young in their careers. Not even at their prime. It's going to be crazy. I mean, Ilia is going to have the striking advantage, I believe. He's going to have the kickboxing advantage. Evloev, he might have a slight volume advantage, if I would say that. But Ilia is going to be more powerful. If you look at the fight, when it does happen, I do believe Movsar is going to probably have the amount of volume pretty similar. Maybe outstrike Ilia Topuria by just a little bit. But even though he's going to be outlanding Ilia by maybe a little bit because he does throw a lot of volume, Ilia will be going out there and he will land the much harder shots, not much more harder shots, but he will land the more effective shots, and the shots that the judges will be looking at a lot more than they will at Movsar Evloev's punches. So I do believe in the judges' eyes, Ilia Topuria will have the advantage with the more powerful punches and kicks. Now, in the wrestling and grappling, we already know Ilia Topuria is an absolutely amazing wrestler and grappler, training at a Climate Club over there. Not really with too much really good guys over there, but he does train with some very solid guys over there at MMA Masters. Some really good wrestlers and grapplers over there. We got Colby Covington, we got Nate Landwehr over there, Ilia Topuria, of course, Miguel Baeza. And there's probably so many other guys that are on here as well. Michael Lilly is a solid guy as well. There's so many guys out here that are very good wrestlers and grapplers. The most notable, of course, going to be Colby Covington. But he is training in an environment where there's a lot of good wrestlers, a lot of good grapplers. Is that alone gonna lead me to believe that Ilia will have the wrestling and grappling advantage? No, it will not. He might have maybe the submission advantage, but will he have the wrestling advantage? I don't think so. Out of all of his wins, most most of them are finishes, 7 submission wins, 3 knockouts, and only 1 decision. He's not, I really don't think he's gonna submit Movsar Evloev. If he's gonna get the finish, it's probably gonna be a knockout, because the guys he did submit, they were pretty solid, 8-1, 7-1 right there, and then a couple of knockouts in the UFC. But fighting a guy like Movsar Evloev, never been finished, never even lost a fight, I really don't see such a good grapple like Movsar losing a submission to Ilia Topuria. I can see a knockout from Ilia Topuria, but it'd be very, very surprising to see Ilia Topuria go out there, get an arm triangle, rear naked, guillotine triangle, whatever the case may be. So I'm ruling out the submission from either guy. If Movsar is not able to get the submission, I don't think Ilia will either, so submission will be off the table. Knockout, I'm going to say right now, Movsar Evloev does not have the power to knock out Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria has the power to knock out Evloev. So the knockout path to victory is definitely there for Ilia, but for Movsar, the only real path to victory is going to be a decision. I've looked through a lot of his fights. I've seen how much power he has. It's not a lie. I've seen the amount of times he goes for the submission and actually gets it. It's not a lie. He only has, I believe, 3 or 4 submission wins in his career against a 0-1 guy, 1-1, 1-3 guy right there, and a 12-3 guy. So that's not a bad submission win right there, but I believe he has retired since then, so again, another one right there. But overall, Movsar Evloev is not going to get the submission, not going to get the knockout. Ilia is not going to get the submission, but may get the knockout. But, of course, the most likely path to victory for both guys probably is not going to be a knockout or a submission, although I do see a very, very good path and a very good likelihood that Ilia could land that knockout shot. But overall, most likely we're gonna see a decision. If Ilia Topuria goes out there and wins the fight, it's gonna be him pretty much keeping the fight at range, and just throwing big shots, staying away from those takedowns. And when Movsar Evloev likes to do what he does and throw some big overhand rights, big left hooks, and then go down for the takedown. Go down for the takedown. When he's going for those big shots, that is when Ilia needs to back up a little bit and counter with a really, really big shot. That is where he's going to land his most effective shots, or right before Movsar Evloev goes for the takedown. When he's trying to set it up with a big shot, that's where Ilia's counter-punching game is really going to take effect. I think if Movsar can continue the pressure for the whole 3 rounds. He does have the cardio advantage. He's got slight better wrestling, not in the takedown accuracy department, but in the amount of times he just consistently just keeps on going for takedowns. It could definitely wear on Ilia. So I do believe Ilia Topuria will win the very first round. I believe Movsar Evloev will win the last round due to Ilia Topuria kind of gassing out a little bit to the pressure, to the volume, to the constant takedown attempts of Movsar Evloev. And it really comes down to that second round. Does Ilia Topuria succumb to the pressure, succumb to the volume, the takedown defense in that second round? I don't think so. The only time I've really seen him gassed out, even just a little bit, would maybe be in the Youssef Zalal fight, where he gassed out just a tad bit in that third and final round. I don't think he's going to gas in the first or second. It'll take a little bit longer, so I believe Ilia can fend off the takedowns for the most part early on in that first and second round, win those by outstriking Movsar, landing the more powerful punches, and in that third round, Movsar will make a little comeback and maybe get close to a finish. But overall, Ilia will win the first round, will win the second round, and lose the third, and Ilia Topuria will go to 12-0, and Movsar Evloev will go to 15-1. It's an amazing fight, 2 amazing prospects, undefeated. 1-0 has got to go. Make sure to like the video, subscribe. Greg Hardy and Aleksei Oleinik in the heavyweight division. This is a top prediction in that it's very obvious. If one person wins, you know exactly how it's going to happen. If Greg Hardy wins right here, it's going to be a pretty easy knockout in the first or second round. If Aleksei Oleinik wins, it's going to be a pretty easy submission in the first or second round. Aleksei Oleinik is on a 3-fight losing streak right now, losing to Derek Lewis, losing to Chris Dawkins, and losing to Sergey Spivak, also beating Maurice Green and Fabricio Werdum, beat Mark Hahn, Junior Albini, Travis Brown, and so many other guys. He has a literal 59-16-1 record in MMA. absolutely insane. But he has the wrestling advantage, he has the grappling advantage. Greg Hardy has the striking advantage, he's got the kickboxing advantage, he's got the size advantage, being 3 inches taller, half an inch longer. He's got the age advantage, being 11 years younger than Aleksei. So my prediction right here is going to be a pretty obvious one. I'm going to go Greg Hardy to win the fight by knockout in the very first round. 60% are going Oleinik to win the fight by submission. But that would be a good prop to put a bet on. I believe the odds for that are probably going to be very, very good. I'm going to go Greg Hardy by knockout just due to the age of Aleksei Oleinik, due to the fact that Greg Hardy, I mean, he hit, I don't know. He's younger, he's taller, he's lengthier, he's more powerful, he's just a better striker. If Aleksei Oleinik goes out there and gets the bow constructor rear naked, gets the, what was that submission that he got on Maury's screen? I forgot the submission he always gets. I'm forgetting the name, but if he gets some random submission, I would not be surprised. But I'm going to go Greg Hardy by knockout right there. Would not be surprised if Oleinik does not really surprise us, but gets a submission right there. But overall, I got Greg Hardy going out there, keeping the fight on the feet, using his strength, using his size, defending the takedowns, and getting the knockout in the first or second round. A really good fight in the heavyweight division right there. Brandon Moreno and Deiveson Figueiredo 3 as the co-main event for Ngannou versus Gane, UFC 270. Now, Brandon Moreno and Deiveson Figueiredo, they're going to have 3 fights against each other in a row. The first fight was a draw, and it was a majority draw. Deiveson Figueiredo would have actually won the fight if not for, I believe, I'm trying to remember what the point was taken for. Maybe a ball shot, maybe an eye poke. I'm really not remembering why the point was taken from Deiveson Figueiredo, but a point was taken, and that was the reason it was a draw. But if you look at the fight, Deiveson Figueiredo, without the point deduction, would have won the fight. In the second time over, it was completely different. The first fight was very, very close. Of course, a draw is going to be a very, very close fight. The second fight, not so much. I believe that Brandon Moreno probably did enough to win every single round there. If we go into UFC stats, I'm going to look at the striking differential from both guys as well as the grappling differential, because we do know Moreno ended up winning the fight by a submission right there, showing that he does have the grappling and wrestling advantage, and that he probably is able to use that in this fight as well. But if we look right here on their last fight, 47-24 with 1 knockdown from Moreno, 71-33 on regular strikes, and then 2 takedowns to 1 takedown in the wrestling and grappling department. But as of right now, I would say Moreno's going to have the striking advantage. The only area Figueiredo was really able to get off his shots was in the closer distance, as we saw a lot of body shots right there. At range, he was really not able to land on the head of Brandon Moreno. Just really could not find the target. And Moreno, he's got way better boxing. His speed looked a little bit better. His cardio is definitely going to be a lot better than Deiveson Figueiredo in this fight. But he's just overall the better boxer, in my opinion. He lands way more shots to the head, almost 3 times the amount of shots to the head as well. He's got the grappling advantage, he's got the wrestling advantage, was able to take him down 2 times and submit him. So I believe Moreno will have the grappling advantage. I believe he'll have the wrestling advantage. And on the feet, maybe early on, Deiveson can give some trouble to Brandon Moreno, as he does have a lot of power in his hands. Maybe Deiveson can win the first round, maybe win the second round. But after that, a guy like Deiveson Figueiredo, a lot bigger than Brandon Moreno, that size advantage over Moreno is not going to really be a size advantage, as he's going to be a lot more gas than Moreno in those later rounds. Towards the later rounds, Moreno with that cardio advantage, he's going to go out there, he's going to pressure him with the boxing, take him down, and maybe even submit him again, and maybe even knock out Deiveson Figueiredo, as he was close to in their second encounter. But as of right now, I do think that Deiveson Figueiredo, he's got a shot. I mean, he has a lot of power. Out of those 20 wins he does have in his career, he's got 9 knockouts and 8 submissions, so he's got the opportunity for a finish. I just don't see it happening. I see Moreno surviving the early rounds with those really big shots, and then just absolutely clobbering favoring Figueiredo in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round. Maybe the fight goes to a decision, but maybe we see a late finish. I'm very, very torn on what to go for. A 3rd, 4th, 5th round finish, or the fight actually goes all the way. But I think that weight cut is really, really going to go to Deiveson Figueiredo, and I do think Moreno will catch another finish here in the 4th or 5th round. So yeah, that is my prediction. I believe Moreno has the advantage in every facet of the game. I mean, after watching that last fight, he's got cardio advantage, he's got the boxing advantage, he's got the kickboxing advantage, he's got the wrestling, he's got the grappling. Maybe the power was Deiveson, but again, there's so many other things going Moreno, and that is why I have him winning the fight by 4th round. Let's go knockout right there. Really good fight in the co-main event right there. Francis Ngannou and Ciryl Gane in the heavyweight division. Oh my god, it's going to be a crazy, crazy fight. Before I get into my prediction, I want you guys all to go down in the comment section below. Put who you guys got between Ciryl Gane and Francis Ngannou, because as you all know, it is a very, very 50-50 fight. If we look at the best fight odds, the actual betting odds for the fight are more 50-50 than you could really even make it. Minus 115, minus 105. This odds site has Francis Ngannou as the underdog. This odds site has it completely flipped. So literally every single one of them is at least a 50-50 one, or they're very, very slightly leaning one guy to the other. It's so close. And if Ngannou's going to win, it's going to be a knockout. If Ciryl Gane wins, it'll be a late finish or a decision. I cannot wait for the fight. I cannot wait to see what you guys think about it as well. Put that in the comment section below. But as for what I think, Ciryl Gane is going to have the age advantage right now, 31 years and 9 months. Not necessarily going to have the size advantage, but he makes up for that size with speed. Yes, Francis Ngannou is going to be a little bit bigger. Yes, he's going to be more powerful. Yes, he's going to be a little... No, he's not even going to be lengthier. They're the same height and the same reach. But yeah, yes, he's going to be bigger, but Ciryl Gane is way, way faster. He showed that in his fights with Volkov, with Jairzinho Rozenstruik, even with Derrick Lewis, in all of those fights. The speed of Ciryl Gane is unlike any other fighter in the heavyweight division. One of the best jabs in heavyweight history, in my opinion. I think that's really what's going to come down to who wins this fight. It's really Ciryl Gane. Can you keep on consistently throughout the fight, going in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, over and over and over again, without getting caught by that counter left hook or the big right hand? That is what we got to consider. Can Ciryl Gane make that entry, get that jab, get that pop 1-2, and get out in time to stay away from the danger that Francis Ngannou does present? We have no idea. We have to wait for the fight to happen. So that is why anyone out there saying Ngannou by knockout, okay, that is a very, very likely thing to happen. It can take a split second in the 5th and final round with 10 seconds left, and Ngannou just does exactly what he did to Jairzinho Rozenstruik and knocks out Ciryl Gane. That could happen. That is a very, very likely thing to happen. But I think Ciryl Gane is going to have the cardio advantage over Ngannou. He's got the speed advantage over Ngannou. He has the volume advantage over Ngannou. He's got the grappling advantage over Ngannou in terms of submissions. So if he needs to in the later rounds, he can pepper a couple of takedown defense here and there. Sorry, not takedown defense. Takedown attempts here and there on Francis Ngannou, just to get Francis Ngannou thinking about that. And then as he's going down for those fake takedowns, pepper him up with the jab, pepper him up with the 1-2, and just keep on hitting him, keep on going in and out over and over and over again. And again, I'm going to go Ciryl Gane decision right here, but I will not blame you for going Ngannou by a knockout right here. I will not blame you whatsoever, because he has the power. One shot changes everything in the heavyweight division, and especially for Francis Ngannou. So I'm going to go Ciryl Gane. I am very weary of seeing Ciryl Gane just unconscious on the floor. That is, again, very, very likely. But I think Ciryl Gane will use that speed, stay on the outside, go in and out throughout 5 straight rounds, and win. I'm going to go 4 rounds. I think there's going to be a moment, at least one moment, where Ngannou clips Ciryl Gane and maybe edges out the round on the judges' scorecard. Other than that, 4 rounds to 1, Ciryl Gane decision. Crazy fight in the heavyweight division. Well, who do you guys have winning that one? Like, subscribe, and everything like that, and we'll see you in the next video. Let's go. Yeah, guys, that is my full card prediction for, sorry, not my full card, my main card prediction for UFC 270 and Ngannou versus Gane. The main card only has 4 fights. I'm really not too sure why. They should probably add another fight, maybe Cody Staman's fight, maybe Michael Morales, I would probably say Cody Staman's fight, but as of the main card right here, Ilia, Topuria, Movsar, Evloev, I get Ilia winning the first round and winning that second round, but losing the third and final round, and overall winning a very close 29-28 decision. I got Greg Hardy by a first or second round knockout. I got Brandon Moreno specifically by a fourth round knockout. I got Ciryl Gane winning that one by a decision. Crazy fights in the heavyweight, flyweight, and featherweight division. Like the video, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications. And if you want to become a member to the channel, make sure to go on the desktop mode and press the join button next to my channel icon and become a member for $3 a month, only 10 cents, literally a dime every single day to see all of my MMA bets for UFC, for Bellator, for PFL. If you want to check that out, make sure to become a member, and we'll see you in the next video. Let's go.